Hi, my name is Dan Weisenpacker with Multi-Machine. Today we're going to go over some basic T14R operator training. Multi-Machine started in 1982 and specialized in crawler carriers. We're a premier dealer for pre-Noth machines. Behind us is a pre-Noth Panther T14R rotating dump truck powered by a Caterpillar C7.1 275 horsepower turbo diesel engine. The first T14R was released in 2016 and continues to evolve to suit the always growing and changing off-road construction demand. This is a brand new 2021 model behind us, and like its predecessor, it weighs 36,000 pounds with a 29,100 pound payload capacity. It's got an 8.5 cubic yard dump box and a rotating upper frame. It features a maximum speed of 8.4 miles per hour, 3.9 psi of ground pressure, side hill and uphill gradability of 33% and 47 inches of fording depth. To start, we'll go over some basic component locations and daily checklists before you even enter the cab. Basic orientation of the T14R is with the cab facing forward over the drive sprockets, as it is in the picture behind us. So when we refer to left and right, forward and backwards, that's based off of the cab facing forward. So you're basically sitting over top of the drive sprocket, so your left will be your driver's side, right passenger side, like in a normal vehicle. So on the left side of the machine, on the 2021 model, you have your hydraulic oil level right here. So that's one thing you want to check on your part of your daily checklist. On a 2020 and prior model, your fuel tank will be over here and your hydraulic oil level will be on the opposing side, so we'll look at that on the other side. You also want to take a look at your tracks, your sprockets, check for any oil leaks, and just kind of get a good look and make sure that nothing looks out of place. And now we'll go over and look at the other side. On the right side of the machine, the first thing we'll show you is where your battery disconnect is located. All of your access panels on the T14 and any Panther model will use the same key as the ignition, a Caterpillar key. So in here, a couple things. You have your master disconnect switch, which you do not want to turn off if the warning light is on. You need to wait. It usually takes about a minute for the dosing lines to purge, so you want to wait until that light is turned off so you can shut the master disconnect off without causing any faults in the engine. Have your engine oil dipstick and your batteries. On the 2021 T14, in the right front corner, you'll have your diesel fuel fill, your DEF fluid fill, both your fuel filters and your windshield washer fluid. On the 2020 and prior models, like we said before, your diesel fill is going to be on the left side behind the cab. Your DEF fluid fill will still be in the same box, and your batteries and your master disconnect will be right in this area. One of the safety features on the right front here is another side view camera and an adjustable mirror that can be adjusted from in the cab. The camera will also be displayed on the screen in the cab along with your rear view safety camera. This allows you to have maximum visibility on the sides where there could be some blind spots from the cab. Next, we'll take a look at the radiator and the air conditioner condenser along with the air-to-air cooler and the hydraulic cooler. They're located underneath this side panel. So you pop open, twist these knobs, and the panel opens up. This is your hydraulic cooler, your air-to-air cooler, and your engine coolant radiator. Very important to make sure that these are clean at all times. They should be blown out once a day. You also have your air conditioner condenser over here, and you need to keep debris from packing between the engine radiator and the air conditioning condenser. Your coolant level is in a sight glass in the top corner, and you can view in the sight glass it should be about between a quarter to halfway up. Now we'll take a look at the back of the machine. A couple things to point out back here. You have your rear view safety camera. This gives you good vision out of the back of the machine. It's viewed on a screen inside the cab. Your 3 grease fittings for your dump cylinders and for your rotation ring. And you also have your dump box safety prop pin. This is the stowed position. When you raise the bed, this slug will line up with the safety prop point, and then you can insert the pin. And at any point, if you need to go under the bed while it's in the air, the safety pin should be in and no load in the bed. Now with the machine running, you want to check all your gauges and make sure everything's in the proper locations. You can see that your side view and rear view camera are working properly. You want to check your mirror adjustment. and make sure that you can see as much as possible. Check windshield washer and wiper function. Then you want to release the parking brake. Put the machine in drive and drive forward and stop. The machine should come to a gradual stop. Now do the same thing in reverse. Again, it should come to a gradual stop. You'll also want to take note if your backup alarm is working at this point. Okay, dumping and rotating function. Obviously the machine running. None of your functions are going to work unless your emergency stop is released. You also have a joystick on and off button right up here behind the air conditioning button. That will need to be in the on position. Once you've done all that, you always want to make sure you have proper overhead clearance and side clearance. If you don't have a spotter, we always recommend putting the machine back in park and in neutral and just getting out and taking a look around and make sure there's nothing that's going to get hit and there's no overhead dangers. So dump box up and down, very simple. Back is up, forward is down. It is variable speed, so the more you pull it back, the faster it'll go. Smooth, slow operation is always best. Left and right rotation is left and right on the joystick. On this 2021 model, when you rotate 180 degrees, and then you'll be facing, so your cab will be over the idler wheels, not over the drive motors. It will automatically invert your controls so your steering and your forward, neutral, reverse work properly. On a 2020 and prior model, you'll have a switch that you need to hit. So if you're facing forward with your cab over the drive sprockets and you rotate 180 degrees, so now you're facing over your idler wheels, you'll need to put the machine in neutral and depress this momentary switch. You'll see it displayed on your screen. It'll go from a red machine icon to a green machine icon. If the icon is red, then you need to hit this button and put the machine back in neutral, because when that icon's red, your steering will be reversed. When you turn right, it's going to want to go left. When you turn left, it's going to want to go right. So that's there to remind you to make sure that your drive functions match the orientation of the upper cab. A couple other safety tips. Like we said, you always want to make sure your windows are always clean and your cameras and mirrors are clean and adjusted to provide maximum visibility. Always check for clearance when rotating and dumping. If you don't have a spotter and you're unsure of your clearance, it's always best to just place the machine back into neutral, apply the emergency brake, and climb out and check for clearance. Always use smooth, slow movement when using the joystick. You want to avoid jerky motions and going too fast. When you're dumping, you always want to try to be on a level, stable ground. Obviously, if the machine's got a lot of great ability, but you don't want to be raising a heavy bed up in the air when you're on extreme side hill or uphill situations. Could get you in a bad situation. Always remain at the controls when running a dumping or rotating cycle, and you never want to go under a raised body with a load in it. You want to evaluate high slopes and side hills before approaching, and always approach at a slow speed and be sure of where you're going. Accidents can cause delays, equipment damage, and possible injury. Being sure of your movement and practicing good and safe operating leads to an efficient job site. The ease of operation and the safety functions on the machine will help to maintain this goal. There's a decal on the machine with some operator guidelines, along with a phone number and email to Multi-Machine Inc. if you should have any other questions or need a refresher on anything we've gone over today. You can always use this along with proper procedure for reporting damage to your foreman to make sure we can provide service to keep the machine operating as it should at all times. Thank you for your time. Be sure to check out our website, www.multimachineinc.com, to view our full line of equipment, and never hesitate to reach out with any questions or concerns. Thank you.